Are Hashut's Dark Ravagers any good in patch 6.1.3? Well, you wanted me to go through the other RORs, so I can. This is the Bull Centaur Renders, Dual Axes Regiment of Renown. Let's open the Centaur's mouth instead of debating hypotheticals. Recruit for 1850 gold and 462 upkeep, on Ultra that's 16 models and 9,856 health between them. Let's take a fresh look at the stats. Armor comes at 50. This unit, unlike others, comes with physical resistance 20%. Like the others, it has missile resistance 25% and fire resistance 15%. Yes, all of this will stack. Non-magical flaming arrows, such as from hobgoblin archers, even your own, will fight all the resistances simultaneously. Leadership of 85 is what you expect at rank 9. Speed is 62 normally, charge speed 100, so nowhere near as fast as the hero unit. Melee attack 46 is paired with attack interval 4, with a helping of medium splash target size, so Empire Knights on down, and max target splash of 3. So, no splashing ogres. Melee defense of 52 is as good as it gets, since there is no rank 10. Weapon strength 114 is split base 34 and armor piercing 80 with the typical bonus versus infantry of 18, as in typical for dual axes variants. Charge bonus is 52 and mass is 1700. For ranged, oh yeah, unlike all the others, this one only has a ranged weapon. So yes, for ranged, ammunition 10, range 80, these champion axe tossers do 146 damage officially, and carries the Shieldbreaker attribute, rendering enemy shield for using foes minus 24% chance to block all missile attacks for 10 seconds, not just this one. Actual damage is base 20 and armor piercing 100 each axe, and that's enough to probably one-shot most Chaos Warriors in the back of the helmet. Reload time 8.2 is what weighs the average. Total accuracy 43 is the natural climb for a rank 9 unit. Calibration distance 40 means it's only at peak accuracy at extremely short ranges. Calibration area of 2 means that it'll probably hit that Chaos Warrior's helmet, given it's modified by total accuracy. Whoops, almost forgot the penetration. There's a pen cap of small and a max target pen of 2, so really tightly packed groups, like, say, High Elf Spearmen, might take extra damage beyond the first hit, which is great because that's a maximum of only 16 axes going in at one time. Now, in addition to the usual stuff, being Contempt, Siege Attacker, Hide in Forest, and Causes Fear, this is a fire whilst moving attacker, and that's not shocking. It also has a pair of passives, the first being Guardian, something that is an option for the Taurak heroes. It's not stock with them at all. Guardian adds 15% physical resistance for friendly lords and heroes in a 35-meter radius, even Gordu's, and he's just a git. It can be good, but magical attack breaches this. Revel in Fear affects the unit itself and is meant to exploit having enemies with wavering or lower leadership within 50 meters and becomes much more intense with the number of units affected. There's nothing here about a unit having to rout, so crumbling undead might actually be fine. The max tops out at plus 40 melee attack, plus 16 leadership, and plus 40% charge bonus. That's really nuts! In the redline skills, Crushing Charge at 3 pips adds plus 12% weapon strength and plus 9 charge bonus flat. Wretched Warhost adds plus 12% more weapon strength, plus 12 charge bonus flat, and physical resistance 10%. As in, this goes up to 30% physical resistance. In the tech tree, Living Metal increases armor by 15 and melee defense by plus 5. Since this is a permanent rank 9 unit, Temple Training not just adds melee attack plus 5, it guarantees that the unit will have perfect vigor, which Zerkovich was saying in a recent video is the best passive in the entire game. Well, I'm not arguing that he's wrong. So let's take a brief look through the Hellforge, and while nothing's changed, it affects how we look at Revel in Fear. Murderous Charge only requires being in a charging animation, and the benefits are right here, on top of whatever Revel in Fear created, and so on. Vanguard deployment is nice, but Devastating Flanker, when you have a passive that can add up to plus 40% charge bonus on top of Murderous Charge, has game-breaking potential. Hellforge, to enable Demon Smith healing, can be nice, but Blood Greed, on top of what the unit already has, because they aren't the same and therefore will stack, is just insane. Strength from Flesh as the healing you always wished you had for a Bull Centaur unit. Causes Terror has its uses, as in against mortals, and barrier hit points are a nice touch. So how do we use Hashut's Dark Ravagers? Clearly, the name of the game is to use it in an army buffing units and with Hellforge upgrades to turn it from a good brawler to an absolutely insane charging force of doom. This is on top of the powerful throwing axes. But hey, you're playing Chaos Dwarfs, save that for when you really want a particular target dead by turning Fire at Will off and using it strategically to take 24% off a Silver Grade Shield unit's shields, including Thanes and stuff like that, like the new Black Orcs. You're halfway stripping them bare for blunderbusses and fireglaives to rip apart. And if there's no combo like that to use, just do the normal stuff. I mean, something with bronze shields like Reiksguard just needs one axe to hit from the front first, and then all the others sailing in will face only an 11% chance to block the heavy armor-piercing blows. Wait, they're too slow to kite Reiksguard? That's a problem. Well, use a Torok to slam into them from the front and launch a few axes from the side. There's no anti-large bonus for the Ravagers, but let's go back to the basics. This is an armor-piercing, monstrous cavalry unit. Every single hit that actually connects is going to hurt. It gets substantial charge bonus, even without the augments in combination that will be more of a late campaign thing, but devastating flanker into the scenario I just described should obliterate the Reiksguard, and then you move on to something else. We finally circle back to the fact that it has high melee defense, and when it's facing infantry, the fair and balanced melee attack mutates this into a whirling four-legged dervish of death. You require some skill and cunning to make the most against cavalry. You require none of that with infantry. Just some care when taking on Celestial Dragon Guard, and you should not just be good, but devastating to your foes, especially if you got healing through melee combat going. Take care and have fun making this unit seem underpriced from the scale of the carnage you can do with it once it's pimped out.